the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Dr. Ezekiel Ajekum, or a medical doctor, is not a politician. But you may be a see, ama a nadia doctor edin one Jim. Yeah, I say over the weekend or na GH1 TV. Now the odi call ye NDC4 hono eseweni. Dr. Ezekiel Ajekum say Nsem-Pii ana Ghana for you almost free senior high school, free senior high school, free senior high school. Was in yet senior high school kwani free Ghana ho. Was for one chiremu ewo College of Physicians and Surgeons. Obi obeko medical school. Yeah, why na adwene say obe specialize in a particular field. The panel per se or ye a psychiatrist, but so a gynecologist, or per se or ye a urologist. Immediately, I was specializing. College of Physicians and Surgeons, Ghana by Afakani Nina Untuaka Preba. Unlike the erstwhile administrations under Professor Mills, under John Dramani Mahama, under President Kufuor Benina, now Boka Jutuli D, and some of what they are specializing. Now the Danko Kufuor Donena Bay absorb every single penny of the visa. They was a Utia. To be able to become a specialized medical practitioner in a certain field. Ghana for him. The Ghana for don't enemy a free senior high school, but the medical doctors and so enjoy free education. And we are now catching this in no. Nana no chabe and lawyer semi jemfi etini chain be na to against one say. The better still you hey. What did Tromi and Sa ye kind? Also John Mahama they see Rich Hospital. The tosomi no. Osi John Mahama ne si University of Ghana Medical Center. The tosomi ensa. Osi John Mahama ne si Kotokuraba Market. Me nkasa. GH1 TB haya. 3 months ago, Dr. Kwabena Dufo betra ha. Momo video no ma obi anya behwe. Enya sam ketuo me hu medical doctor. Just what DNDC ya fasa panel bi suda. Or say onye politician. He is a true medical doctor. But said the new they need to come out and set the record straight. Ebio, Dr. Ezekiel Ajekum say, former President John Dramani Mahama during the campaign launch, Nsem-Pii Sukai, say the medical doctor say ka arrest, salary arrest, or say a ya troguto. Now, and someone was saying ye can home, yeah, other incentives, ya a benny eddy medical doctors, even junior doctors, in addition to salaries. It is going to just marvel you, just a best shock you. Enjoy. Dr. Ezekiel Ajekum, Juma Odidi, the NDC, Yana lawyer Sami Jefika Hobi, GH1 TV show, and Anope.
He didn't build Kotokuraba Market in your own studios, Star FM. Mr. Dufo, Dr. Dufo, was here. And he said, as finance minister, he signed the contract for the loan for Kotokuraba Market, for Rich Hospital, and a host of other projects. Mr. Mahama has no hand in Kotokuraba Market.
So who will Kotokuraba?
Give some credit to the man from Central Region.
Who is the Prof Mills?
At least, we've had a man, a professor as such, from Central Region, who has become a president.
See.
Prof Mills was so magnanimous in that when he completed the N1 highway, he told Ghanaians, please, it is not my project. The Millennium Challenge account that's constructed that road, it's not my project. It's President Kufuor's project. So he invited President Kufuor to the commissioning of the road.
I never mentioned N1 here.
I'm giving an example. So if today, after Prof Mills passed, he held your hand against all odds to the disaffection of other members in your own party and made you a vice president. And after him, you took over as president. The least you can do for Prof Mills is to credit him with the things he did. Radio Hospital, Kotokuraba Market, as my brother is saying, they are all Prof Mills' projects. Mr. Mahama has no hand anywhere. Are you telling us that Mr. Mahama built Tamale Teaching Hospital? When Tamale Teaching Hospital was training doctors, Mr. Mahama was still an MP or had not even gone to Parliament. Are you telling Ghanaians that he built Wagatanda Hospital? It is not true. So why do you sit on a platform to tell lies that doctors are also trying hard to receive salaries? It is never the case. If there is any government that has been so magnanimous to doctors, it's this government. The government has signed condition of service. Aside the yearly increment in public sector salaries, the doctors over the past 2 years have at least benefited from the condition of service that comes at the middle of the year. Every year in this administration, doctors are not struggling to receive salaries. The doctors in our recent history who struggled, the junior doctor, house officers, those who had completed school and started working afresh, they worked 11 good months under Mr. Mahama, the competent one, without receiving salaries. It is never the case in this administration. Even when I was a house officer, in a record 2.5 months in 2017, I received my salaries. 2015, under Mr. Mahama, doctors worked for 11 months. Today, doctors are receiving free education. Do you know you are receiving free education? You can walk from your studios to the College of Physicians and Surgeons. Every doctor receiving training to become a specialist in this country. The Kufuor NPP administration has made schooling free. They don't pay school fees. Hitherto, under administration, we're paying fees. The doctors who had car waiver, motivation, President Kufuor introduced, Prof. Mills continued. Mr. Mahama, under administration, came to cancel them. So any doctor, any healthcare worker who is listening to us can judge between the two. The one that came and cancelled the allowances. Government owes the nurses, but they are like the nurses to say, allowances delayed, better than allowances cancelled. You cancel them, and you are making a U-turn to come and say that when you come, you continue. Can we take you serious? If governance is about seriousness, then one that has occupied the position that you expect some form of seriousness from the person who claimed free SHS should not be implemented on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician, stood on a platform, lied to Ghanaians and said he introduced free SHS. The person who has occupied the position, and we expect some seriousness from him, per the words of my brother, stood on a platform, met journalists and told them it is the NDC that introduced NHIS from Nkranza and Damongo, but it's not true. It was the community leaders and the community people in conjunction with the Catholic Church that introduced those health insurance in those communities. It is never true. So if it's about lies, your candidate who has been a vice president, who has been a president also, stood on a platform and in all seriousness looked in the faces of the people who sell his message and lied to them. Is governance about lies? So if Dr. Bawumia has said one or two things that didn't come to pass, and your candidate who has been a president before and is expected to know better, expected to see the presidency as a serious business, it's clearly. I have not admitted it. I said if. Fantastic. I said if. I used a conditional clause. Okay. I used a conditional clause. I said if. I used a conditional clause. So please listen to me. Okay. That indeed, if it's about seriousness and lies, the one who has occupied the position before expected to know better, coming to lie to us, and you are here repeating the lies. Kotokraba Market, there's not his project. Ridge Hospital, there's not his project. Doctors are struggling to receive salaries. Meanwhile, under your administration, junior doctors work for 3 months without getting salaries. And 11 months.
I just say rapport deba.
I said,
and the market was the next bro. Then you will see the difference.
Okay.
Between a hand and
a hobby.
I tell you every say, and I know metal by red maku bed 10.
So, I had your baby to be a
Marco 10. Gordon, a bet 100 cities, metal,
it's back on 10 cities.
Yes. Quite road now from the coin Sutano. I say, ye dear one, but a radin way, my boy. Yeah, soon as I got now, so them Masalachi. And until I am so beside Tim was here free, I saw them name Masalachi. He said, I say, dear one brokers here, but Yamin way, mobile. Amen. Yo, Daro, so we said, "Now no open, you been accident, and say me no be an interview."
Yes,
and I'm a catcher. We said, "More communicators, no more sorry." Now, baby, will be an imbue on the home. Now, maybe who say a do master to him. Emma, senior, my brother, yet Christ, and I'm guys, and I'm brother, yes, on one to walk away. One will be all that brother, and Mamma Metro, and nobody got dinner. Yes, and tea or henny. Enti gode na o se ene so su be pese open bible power oye wo bi wo ma opebusa obetimi afro sofo menim te sei machi te sei de na eko de na besie enti ade a obeka asema ya na omunim se media agro de ro nze god me beka se yetu ato omanim atese omu chama bia wu up to October no October the man we akese bi do yegu so bo mpae be de ro na no me ba o last interview me ka se MPP fo nyina nsole mo mpae vize obonefo ne person o ma de bi sisi a se de be distract o mu campaign na o mu ye no say me teacher and zero ya deal.
What is what you
because I want to go international. That is why I
so for warrior.
And they say no there. On the me papa te brofo. Papa Victor Kusibuatin. Enti Dauro na no me papa be kasa.
Yes.
Na unse assembly on ma penin kantre enka seka untimi nyeden enka. But me de na no nkomo obehye na nyi news ma me. Ise kokko mu de even Sunday me ne to if you program me ko ibia me ko share office na jam de komo we say dibia di ansana mama chene ne na ko platform. Na Daura ho sempa ekoso ne se papa ese ne nkomu wie apɛ na obi afrɛ na atretin no obebo ni tuo with unknown number na Dauro da bia asɛm to papa na oya me ba heaven tiam fanche we dia papa and I will call prophet Amakwata this morning. Dauro ekwan omu fa so di papa na tam ye no ya Dauro ya wo mu a omutimi de sebida na do ne ba omi abonyu nyina ho. Have you seen any person threatening that person say who ye mampania be di akire say ye bebo utuo?
Debbie.
Have you seen or have you heard it before?
Debbie.
And the other what there you enya by force say the Victor Kusibuatin di and I say sebi me di. But Bible say ye mani nyina momu nyini na God in Ochabre ni bedru. Ochabre so I can less than 4 months. And that time the boys will be separated from the men and we are going to know the true prophets of the land after this election.
But teacher no.
Profonaba.
I saw the queens like I can.
And then one more.
Me who be the teacher was I true one. Teacher was true one. Teacher one party. Open school call.
But I feel was started back.
Like that there. They running like Kazaku. Because yes, after the election in Yamia Duma, me to go a program or which I would not need any translator.
Amen.
So to me me bro for the ako. Me lokwa ma lokwa. Eti Dauro. Kase asofo be ba asem komama NDC. If you think say Victor Kusibuatin is nobody. They said the Dauro there. Me sometimes never pay a program ti. There may be one my God. That mean person my can't train. And ya. Yo, what in a croy mu be de ye to aba we wi a said the me die de bia mbeka sa wo hai se manim gu ase ya mo sa sansu no obi nso anim gu ase ya be bo ne sa nya afi na wo beka se sole ne ye wiem we nya nwiem enkom na ye de
also for penny be framing so penny or say or orthodox church penny or say the nigga said ya wo say nkoma we emphatic un can say ya mompa ya CBC no china ansi a wo se me bompa itwam ansi a no obeka se me bompa itwam si o se me na me kan e ba mu ba o se wo de ne de wo ka asem na wo ye emphatic last me say Ghana we for a comprehensive report about unkomsha wa sheshe wo ha nyina se me de sende o obi na de se draw me attention say Ghana chomo the videos nyina nko ne obeka ne e ba mu pepepe ne e kakakra ne e nyina no mo ye nyina de buy enti o se oped the fact
any economy be a credit economy be a use credit scoring system so obesha ukope busia wo bank ukope loan na yese fa collateral bra bring a collateral because sikana ukope busia ye nim anything about you usi kasam busia ya obeji ubetua ana untimi ntua etino yese fa bibi besi wo na wantua yaje credit scoring system no it checks your finances. It checks your everyday credit behavior. How you spend money, how you pay money, how you spend money, how you pay money. That system not a mouse score. So when it gives you a score, a bank can look at your score and say, this person is credit worthy. Without a collateral, because with credit score you have a higher score of credit. You are a credible person, you are a credit worthy person. We will be your bow busia a ye. So I say it's a credit score, no, yeah, they are very, very important, because with that, you know, ubetuma bobi busia without the person with a reasonable interest rate, and the person's credit worthiness. Say nipa we your boni busia a ye. It is a US way ukotwa their interest rate. Obia interest rate is different based on your credit score. The one higher credit score, no, the interest rate is different. And the whole lower credit score, so interest rate is different. So imagine, say, me koto car na bosiana ye 20,000. I'm the koto bosia, but we have 10% interest rate. Because the credit score is low, but me 6% interest rate because my credit score is very good. What I say, into credit score, no, that is where it takes is a very, very important system.
Okay. Ghana Hanoa. Your Bob Bessia interest rate to be at the penal. Also because of credit scoring in Tientes, I bit my say, make a Bobby Sia, make credit score the year. Yeah, Nimis who cry, and I say, Bed Jimmy, get to where be. Now I would the know. Near joke, say, because risk cannot a different. Mimi Tiameka, the Bobby Sia, me to our Bobby Sia, won't you? I didn't know the same thing. Credit score no is a measure of your credit worthiness, and that's a system. I may who say Nipa way, your Bobby Sia would ya. Now, would your Bobby Sia went to ya, Ukojilon went to ya, goes on your credit. If you see that this person borrowed money from this bank and didn't pay, next time you're more Bobby. So it's a way to check, and that's where this digitalization takes us. Okay. So, okay. And you want to more motia butcher modis as a system ye did juma. Also bit Ghana Hana or Mickey fan of idea be say ya. I am not most more fairly saying.
I are who send a Bible crack and say for lack of knowledge people perish. Said you or more make fan of it, no. Or more penny phone in the crew. But now I'm saying politics into no. Or more back, yeah, senior, yeah, any who agree any who fair. But woman, so I'm about America, or more Britain, or more baby, or more. Women say a good system. And I'm feeling say a party will inquire at this such a system ever. No other party will think of such a policy. You understand? So being in opposition, they will just mock it, but they know within themselves say this is the way to go. So I said, you know, it's just knowledge. Any dear wa ha ne bi dear wa ha enti no omunti ase enti no oh yenye no politics ba o pese abrochire ba Ghana this is what is happening.
Sa adiwe you implement to Ghana has e ma Ghana for ho atom especially me
ho atoye teacher ni nurse ni obi a won credit o Ghana card sisia national number be a national ID card number, so that's your national ID, right? So we a teacher ni bosome so akoje bosia bosome so be a you using credit card visa. It would there you
who here say obetam sika kese say iPhone abey betam 20,000 no akwa to be
and the macro no crowd because the bag say what you Ghana obi betimi who say e be about 20,000 shin because a who to be business said no man nyina akọ card so bro a cromfo a chow bag there and offer card but stembia you could test be brain na chronodos because obi nim say me book cash hwehwe
menya obi ba ofio so be skada ho.
That's why we are moving away from moneyless economies. Okay. People are even struggling baby onum cry obi say no more cash.
Okay. All right. So yana kwame boafo do no afa no amani na edin komo MPP communication officer wo Atlanta USA. Kwame me no bebo yen komo no tofa. Ade ba kwame pese wo ye ma me ne say ye nim say Ghana had the economy was growing very well. In fact, average rate of 7% and COVID na CCC. The narrative in Ghana ne say NDC for say e Kufu Addo ne bawumia and na mo me mo aiden. We also know say a global issue. Of US aba. Ni ayefam wo hai e nyama boy din sa na te wo mo ho.
When there's a global pandemic, it's global. But baby or honum now, because they have control and power of certain to some extent, you know, yana who effect nekese. Now the way I mean me who ni say kwaku eti say akwala wosua nante wadi 1 year oria na yare aka no wan hwa sa akra no te form a won so ri biem kura no anante obedi be 5 years no ntimi nante so just any wo akwala wanyina wadi 6 years sa akwala wadi 6 years yare aka na ne ho to no betuma so it depends on the stage of life and when something hits you the effect you get. Ghana we were at a different stage. Some economists were able